I'm Cheri, and today you have come into my studio. I wanted to show you a couple of things. First, the video that I have, the tutorial that I posted before this one, is of my little cow card, and it's gotten a lot of comments and a lot of likes, and over on Facebook there's been a bunch of discussion on it, so I'm happy y'all like it. But also my cat liked it. So this morning I looked up, and it has the little wobbly mechanism on it, and you can see her little ears bent, and I looked up across my office, and you know, a lot of times my cats make an appearance up here on the table with me, but one of them had the little girl's head, and it was all the way stretched out, and he was dragging my little cow card across the office. So apparently he likes it too, and now she doesn't wobble quite so well because I had to put her back together. So there you go, that tutorial is up, and I did link, I've had a lot of questions about the cow set. It's not a suite, it's just a set, so it's a photopolymer stamp set. It's very inexpensive, so much you can do with it, and there's links that pop up during that video so you can see it, but you can also look down below that video. And then another one that I've had a lot of people ask me about is they've asked about the mug. And the mug on this tutorial, I think it might be the tutorial right before. If you go to just the home page of my YouTube, the mug doesn't say happy. You have to watch the whole tutorial to see how I did that. It's a great set. It's called Welcome to the Team. It's really for office, and there's some stamps that say like welcome to the team, and it's for coworkers. It actually says world's best coworker, but that's where you find that one. So that tutorial is up as well. So today my tutorial is a little bit different. So it could be for scrapbookers, it could be for, I'm actually making a recipe book, and I'm going to show you why I'm making the recipe book. So I'm starting this new little venture because you know I do Stampin' Up! Full-time, but I've done it for 25 years. And you know, my daughter's grown, so my hours are different. So there's a new company that's starting. It actually has launched in the US, but we can't sell anything yet. So we're at that kind of don't know what to do with myself stage. It's called Epicure, and it's a healthy eating, quick cooking kind of thing. So this isn't the catalog. This is one of the like healthy lifestyle books that you get. So it like comes with a bunch of recipes. It's super healthy food. We have been eating it, but because we can't order it yet, more supplies. Like we got the equivalent of what would be a Stampin' Up! Starter kit. We got a starter kit full of food. So you know, if there's two things I like, it's to cook and to eat and to stamp. So we've talked about getting shirts that say like eat, cook, stamp, repeat, because a couple of us are doing this together. So I've got the book, and this is it's not really a diet, it's like a healthy lifestyle thing. So this actually starts in September, where you can join, and it's called Epic Life. So like you record what you eat, there's grocery lists, there's, I'm flipping through all the same pages. So it's got like these books. Well then when you get the food, there's all kinds of different food. And it's not all healthy, like there's chocolate pudding, and but everything's much more healthy for you than in the grocery store. So when you get the meal boxes, there's boxes, and they come with these recipe cards. And so then, you know, it's Pampered Chef. My sister did Pampered Chef when I started with Stampin' Up! 25 years ago. So, you know, I've been there, done that with like the cooking things. But the boxes come, and you get, like it tells you how to cook the stuff that you get. So you get these recipe cards, right? And the very first day, you may have seen my video if you follow me on Facebook. It's not on my Stampin' Up! One, but I think it was on Instagram, which, you know, that all is my life. That's just my life in my Instagram. So my girlfriend had gotten back from Greece, and we made the little vinaigrette. But then these cards are kind of like all over everywhere. And I'm like, I'm going to lose my recipe cards. So I wanted to find a solution on what to do with my recipe cards. Well, you know, Stampin' Up! Often has the solution for all those little things that we need. So our scrapbooking thing. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to make a recipe book. So if you don't have Epicure, that's fine. If you do Epicure and you're there because I've done Epicure and you would like to do that, this is super simple what I'm going to do. So you could do another recipe book, you could do the exact Epicure thing, or it could be a scrapbook. because I'm going to do the cover. So it's kind of just a little bit of a mishmash. So with our scrapbooks, I have the 6x8 scrapbook that's in our catalog right now. And I got the dimensional, because you know those things will be with me in my coffin when I die. I have the variety pack, because it's the only size that we have, of 6x8 scrapbook pages. So they come and they come in this variety pack. And of course I didn't have any. I thought I did, but they were all used. So I ordered 2 new packs, and I'm going to get a ton of them because they're perfect. So that, you know, they come, some of them are whole, some of them have a half and half. This is actually the one I like the best. This has like a 4x6 and then 3x3s. And this is how I scrapbook as well, like when we go on family trips, but I do the 12x12. So the 12x12 pages, I just did maybe our Ireland trip I've been working on. And so at some point I'll pull those out and show you. I love to scrapbook. It's just, you know, scrapbooking has always had a guilt association factor to it for me. So the guilt comes with it, but I do love it. So here, I'll leave those out because I can put those all in my book now. The other thing is keep these packets, because these will be good. Like, I'm going to cut the recipes out of the catalog. It's kind of like a Stampin' Up! Catalog where there'll be different recipes every time there's a new one. Or like if I see something online, or if I jot down an idea, or I have something, I'm going to stick them in here until I have a chance to like get them in my book. Because it comes with this nice bit of cardboard, so it's kind of a safe place to keep things until they actually are in your book. Because unless you are a little bit more perfect than me, everything doesn't make it in there right away, right? So it's nice to have that little place. So let's do, that sounds delicious. This is from the Italian pack. This is one my husband's been on me to make, the balsamic Parmesan chicken fingers. So they're a tiny bit taller than the page, which it doesn't look like it. It looks like they'd be perfect, but you lose this little bit right here where they're stitched together. So I just took scissors. You could use a paper cutter if you want to be perfect. But if y'all watch me, you know, I don't mind things being a little bit crooked, especially if it's going to go in here. So you just throw out that little tidbit you cut off. Now, on the one side, there's Spanish or French. I think it's French because it's a Canadian company. And on the other side, it's English. So we just need the English side. So you can see, to make it fit in here, you need to cut this bit. So just cut under the colored part, the little banner. So almost all of their food things are from fresh to cooked in 20 minutes or less. So we all like that. It tells you exactly what to do with it. It'll give you some ideas for your leftovers. And then it has ingredients on one side and instructions on the other. Pop those in there. If you, I still need a little bit more off. So I'm going to put these two together. Take a little bit more off. But if you had coupons for the store, like this takes Parmesan and panko. So if you ever had a coupon, you could stick it in there if you needed a grocery list or if you had other ideas. But look, they fit perfect. So you could do all of your Italian ones, because those are all green. So these are all the ones that come with the Italian book. These were all the ones that came in the Mexican box of spices. So, and I doubled them over. So on one side there's one. So you see I have them all. And then I took, this is our little tab punch and just some white cardstock. Just pop that out. And these are our Stampin' blends, and one of them has their alcohol markers so they don't smear. And one of them has a bullet tip. I'm going to use the other tip in a second. And I'm just going to write Greek. Oh, well, I'm going to write Greek, but I didn't do Greek. Those are still downstairs. So let me do another one. I need to write Italian. So you just pop these out. I love this thing. If you do craft fairs or garage sales or scrapbooking, and it's super cute on cards too, but it's a fun little punch. We've had it for a while. I will link everything that I'm using down below if you're watching on YouTube. If you're on my website, it'll all be down at the bottom. And if you're still watching in July, which I'm hoping to get this up soon, and for every $50 you spend, Stampin' Up! Will give you $5 bonus bucks to use again in August on a new purchase. So it just says Italian, and I'll use that in just a second when I put it into my actual book. So I've got my tab. Then I'm going to use this stamp set here. It's called Lined Alphabet, and it's literally just the alphabet, and I chose this one for a couple of reasons. It does have a die set that would cut them out, but I don't like to put things on the covers of my albums because I find over time it's not so terrible on scrapbooks because they don't get in and out all the time, but I have done it before in recipe books, and the more they get pulled in and out and used on the cabinet, sometimes, you know, on the counter, then stuff starts to peel off, and I didn't want necessarily a die. But this one's nice and bold, and it will, you can stamp directly on your cover. So that was a good choice for me. And it also, the other reason, was all of our alphabets, I thought it matched the font on this the best. So it'll kind of match. So if I take it with me, if I go places and talk about Epicure, it will have matched that nicely. So I've done part of it because I did the food part. So this is our 6x8 binder. You can see I've left one of the things in here. You just pop them open. I love that it's a neutral color. I love that it will match most anybody's kitchen if it's standing in there. I am going to take one of these out, and I haven't decided what to put on here yet, so I've left it. But you can slide these in and out, or you can just cut another piece of cardstock. Maybe by the time I post my pictures on my website, I will have decided what to do with that. I haven't decided yet. So this is called Lined Alphabet. If you haven't stamped before, super, super simple. You will need, because it's a see-through set, one clear block. Just one is all you need. I'm going to use our black tuxedo pad, and then I'm going to color it in with a dark gray granite Stampin' Blend, which is an alcohol marker so they don't smear. So to stamp on this, if you haven't stamped before, or even if you have, anytime you're stamping directly on something like this, it's a good idea to practice a second. That was why I already did food, because I wanted to make sure that it was going to work. So I have it laid on this because it's since it's a book, like, you know, it's not flat, and I want a nice flat stable surface. So I have my memento, and then I'm going to go backwards because I want it to say Epic Food. So I'm going to start with the C here. So just ink this with the black. Do my C here. You don't want to rock your stamp, just press straight down, straight up. Get my I. Right here, I just have my blocks double mounted just because I've done this for a long time and I have lots of blocks. If you just have one, then you can do 2 letters and then just pull them off. You could mount the whole thing so it says Epic, but I find if you do that, there's a little bit greater of a chance that something doesn't stamp. So if you're doing it on paper, go for it. If you're doing it on something like this, you want to make sure it stamps right. So there's my P. And here's my E. And I am going for not perfectly straight, because if you go for perfectly straight and one's not exactly straight, then it will look bad. And we have a little machine called a Stamparatus that if I was doing it on paper, I would have used my Stamparatus and it would be perfectly straight. But I didn't know exactly how to maybe get this in here. So I'm going to take, now I've got ink on my hands, and I've been doing this for 25 years, so most certainly don't feel bad if you get ink on your hands. Just make sure you've wiped it off before you touch anything. I'm going to take the brush tip. This has the bullet tip that I wrote in the dark when I wrote Italian. I'm going to use the brush tip because you don't want it to bleed, so you want to color fast. So just literally brush it on here. That's why it's called a brush tip. And it bleeds a tiny bit, so you don't need to go right up to the edges because it'll bleed to the edge. So it just takes a minute. I thought about doing, because you know the artist in me wanted to do some polka dots or some lines with one of the darker colors, maybe with a black. But because the clean look of the Epic Life book was just plain silver, that was also why I went with the gray granite as my color. And I decided to just go with plain and simple. So literally just brushing this on here. Just see it just takes a second. Our gray granite it's my favorite color. We have lots of colors. We have 48 colors all of the time. And then every year we get 4 that last for 2 years that are colors that are on trend. They're called in colors. So every year there's 8 of those. So all the colors, this is really my favorite color. It's kind of gray, it's kind of brown. It's a beautiful neutral. So there we go. We have Epic Food as our cover. So you could take this with you. You could have people flip through it. They could like stick little notes in here if there's something they want to see. So let's just add everything to this. So you just pop these apart. I'm going to first add, let's do all of my blank pages first. I don't know how many packs of this it'll hold. I'm going to guess full at least 3 or 4. Because when I do scrapbooking, this will be 2 full packs. So maybe 3. But when I do scrapbook, you can get a ton of them in here. But that's a 12 by 12. Okay, then let's go with this one. This is the only one so far that I have the recipe card in for the Italian. So here's all of the ones that I will fix. I will, if you go back over to my website, I will have posted pictures of it finished. And then here's my Mexican recipes. So stick these in here. And then I'm going to go back to my little Italian thing. And then with these, you see ink all over my fingers. Just fold those in half. And then you're going to take some adhesive. And this is my favorite adhesive of ours. It's called Snail. And these just pop in and out. So they're refillable. They last forever. You can seal anything with them. And you just put it on both sides of your little tab here. And then across the bottoms. And then I've got my Mexican here. So what you want to do is flip to the Italian one. And you don't want them to overlap. So I want it to be like right here. So just kind of hold it with your fingers. It's not going to be perfect because the more and more stuff you get in here, the more you will have. Make sure I'm still in camera. So lay this. So you have one so it goes up against there. Fold that shut and then just kind of pinch it all together, and then all that adhesive will hold it. So then over time, as you get more and more of these, they'll all start to fill. So you can do like the spice boxes, then you can start to do like desserts or the other spice boxes, or there's broths and dips, all of the other categories. You can start to do them however you want. Or if you do the whole, like one of these big ones, I think I will do shopping lists for the different events that you might have. So you can always just pull out the shopping list and have that ready to go. So there you go. I hope you like the little journal. I will show you, this is another done one. This was a red one. It's a little bit of a different album. It's the same album. It's just a one that we don't carry anymore. So it was my practice one, and my daughter, who's also selling Epicure, is going to get this one. But it's nice when you hoard things, because then when you need to practice, there it is. But all of the information, if you'd be interested in making one of these, or if you're interested in any more information about Epicure, you can go to my Facebook, and I have 2, so you can find both of the information for my Stampin' Up! Or for Epicure, you know, because who wants to sleep? You just keep busy. So everybody have a great day. Bye.